Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever back again in the wonderful city of Revergrad. We are as happy as ever to be going to the shopping center. Certainly seems like quite the popular place to be. So, anyway, I have a few plans. I would like to come back down and get our radio station fired up in a minute, but first thing I wanted to do was come over here and show you guys what I've been doing and some of the reasons that I've been placing the signals the way I have and taking from the feedback that it's one of the, again, I know that this isn't right, but we don't have any construction assigned to here. And one of the reasons is they got jammed up. I took one of the trains, rail construction cranes, and move them over into the I guess it's the Quarryville construction, or no, Camine rail construction. And this, what I've also done in between the episodes is add some more, not too many, but some more signals just for construction purposes. Like when I get this guy to work on this, he's going to block up this thing. But so I put some signals here just so that once he gets past building these two, then he can get in here for a little while at least and not block the other train from coming down. So what I've been kind of having to do is I'll go ahead and like appoint this section of track first, right? And then the train should come out for that. And then I'll go and like appoint, let's just say this one. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, which one. And he'll come in here. Now, when I go to appoint this one, because of the way the rails are, they're going to have to like come in and out the wrong way. So this is why I have all two-way tracks. And the same thing is true when we talk about, let's zoom out a bit. Let's talk about this one. I just sort of got done doing the same thing here, where I would send a train up into here and then send two more out to here. Now, they're going to have to go in. When this guy comes back, he's going to come back the wrong way, which tends to block this guy, which is our food train. By the way, the food train has been running back and forth, so I do wish that I had a warehouse here. There's no doubt. I'm not real happy with this, but I'm going to let it ride as long as we're using a lot less fuel now to drive trucks back and forth to here. But at this point, he seems to be keeping up with food delivery to here. So, I know it's not the most efficient. I promise to get it more efficient one day in the future. But at the same time, yeah, I have lots of other plans. And I think, there's been suggestions in the past that it wouldn't be uncommon to have a town where we just make food. So what I'm thinking of is I think I mentioned this in one of the last episodes, that we would, this would just become a corn train station maybe. And maybe I will go ahead and put a warehouse in here and redo that. But also I'd probably find maybe another place like here where we have big open field possibilities and, for the future, but then maybe put a town here that would do food, right? Keeping in mind that we're going to, probably the next big expansion is to get into New Revergrad. New Revergrad's not quite the dead middle of the map, but it's pretty close. It's probably one of the better building areas in the middle of the map. So here, let me do something. Oh, another piece of advice. This is something that's semi-unrelated. Well, definitely unrelated to the game. And I didn't mention it in the last episode because I wasn't in the happiest mood, and I didn't want to. I try not to be negative ever. Like it's okay for me not to be Mr. Happy. I know, but I don't like when YouTubers are negative. So I try to always at least be neutral about things. It doesn't always work out that way. But anyway, back up your computers. The computer that I normally process the videos, which I wasn't doing anything on it. I was just recording this video, and the screen went blank, like black, and I had no idea why, because I don't have the screensaver on there. Like it's like 4 hours, so there's no way that was it. And I don't know. I got lucky in the sense that I was able to plug in an HDMI monitor, which I had just had an old VGA monitor plugged into it, and it just seemed to be, you know, Windows was corrupted somehow. I don't know if it was in the middle of doing an update behind the scenes or what, but fortunately the only thing I lost was like my actual processed, few of my processed videos. But I have a, you know, like an ebook. Go ahead and, you know, if you don't use one of those things like Carbonite, you know, get something like an ebook, you know, and just dump anything you care about on there, because it saved me, you know, a bunch of stuff. One of the reasons I have a second computer is it's a backup, and then on top of that backup, I back up the backup to the ebook of the things I care about. So I was able to recover fairly quickly. This computer, again, I don't mean to get into a computer review thing here, but I've had plenty of issues with this computer, and I recommended Asus to a lot of people, but I don't know what they did with this one. They must have had the drunk guy on Monday morning build this computer, because it's like literally, I now have 3 old versions of Windows. Like it just seems like periodically the Windows just corrupts on this computer. So can blame it on Asus, can blame it on Microsoft. You know, it's easy to blame it on Microsoft, and I don't doubt that it has a lot to do with it, but blaming it on Microsoft is a little bit like blaming the weather for something bad happening, right? Like you can say, oh, that building fell down because it wasn't built properly, or you could say, oh, well, it was a tornado that knocked it down. Well, you know, you can build buildings that are tornado proof. So I don't know. When I buy a computer, I want it to be Microsoft proof. In other words, like I'm not going to recommend to people a computer that's not Microsoft proof. So anyway, enough of that. Back up your stuff. If you haven't done it in a while, just go ahead and get yourself a disk and dump those things you care about onto it, you know. Fortunately, this computer's not used for much other than backing up some files and processing videos and watching YouTube while I'm sitting here playing games. But anyway, I just wanted to come up here. All right, enough of that. But yeah, back up your stuff. It really does make a difference in life. I have the construction guys building stuff. I kind of ran into a situation where I don't have enough roads to actually continue the construction. So I started this guy on paving. And I probably could get these guys here to do some of these gravel paths. They don't have pavers, but they don't need pavers to do some of the gravel paths here, whichever. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a mess because I made them into all these separate little projects. That's a lot of times why I don't do that, so I don't have to sit there clicking 72 times. Oops, there's another one they could have done. I'm gonna do it all the ones that they can, just so they have enough to do while I'm talking. Right? Yeah, say like that will be its own separate project. Well, you know what? They can build this. Yeah, so we'll get them building the other brick flats along with a couple paths, and then these guys here, mostly my path and road building up in this area. Another thing to talk about while time is slowly progressing. Do we have a jam up? Every time I don't see construction cranes. No, okay. So this guy's still working. They must have come back after going out. Oh, yep, there it goes. So they seem to be flowing along pretty nicely. Good. It's a constant thing. Oh, up here, Lambriska is what I was going to say. Still have this construction office, and I decided, well, I think we're pretty much done with the construction up here. And except for we didn't build this one, and I don't think I'm going to fire this one up. But at the same time, I think I might as well build it before I move this construction crew away. Now, another thing I think I would like to do is start getting rid of, and I might not do it all right now, but maybe we will. It won't take that long. Let's do cancel roads. That way we don't accidentally get rid of, and there's, okay. No, that one will leave. There we go. So we really just don't need that road in there anymore. Oops. Uh-oh. Do we really need this road? You know what? I want to just get rid of it for the time being. There we go. And that'll look a little bit better. All right, so he's getting this done, and that's wonderful. But I also wanted to, let's do a little demonstration of how the gulag works. You know, evil gulag. I'm not sure if I showed this on a past video, but I did come up here to where, and I set this to purchase the electronic and mechanical components from up here. Building is without power supply. What? Building is without power supply. Oh, because we're not purchasing. Ah, okay. Well, I don't really want to purchase electricity from there. So, yeah, that's an issue. All right, well, we have something else to build, don't we? I think if I were to put in a or something, or do we run power from this switch would probably be better, huh? We don't need much in the way of power. We're already coming off a 2 right here. Do we just put a switch in this rather than building a big thing and a transformer and all that? Yeah, so let's see. We don't have a special. Oh yeah, cancel wires. Oops, let's not accidentally hit the big wires. All right, so that was a waste of energy there, or effort. Yeah, I'll just do these little poles, and I think we'll, let's see, how do we want to do this? Can we cross these poles? Yeah, we can. Okay. So I think I'll just come back out of here rather than building. Let me build to the sharpest angle and as far away as I can here. Let's zoom in. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, there we go. One pole. Let's go to the sharpest angle. Go to where we just have one pole. And then we'll probably just go right along the street. Now, for those of you who didn't watch the live stream, you can kind of cheat if you want to like bounce back and forth across the road. Like this actually, you can't, it's hard to tell here, but if you looked, it doesn't take any more money to do this. It takes like 4, every time you put a pole in is what actually costs you. So you can like hopscotch across the road back and forth. You know, like if we put one here, it saves money. And, you know, then I would put one, you know, like zigzag across the road and use that to kind of cheat. I'm not going to do that because, I don't know, it's a bit of a pain in the butt to do, to be honest with you. Let's come up to about here, I think. Maybe back there. And then we will hopscotch, but not because I'm cheating, just because. I guess is cheating. I don't know. It's a, you know, cheating's a harsh word. I know some people react to it strongly. It's, I mean, you're, what do you want to call it? Maybe abusing the game mechanics, you know, to a degree. All right, let's see. Can we come off the back here? You know, I'm gonna go. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get into that railroad track. Let's cancel that. You know, I think maybe I can get across the other side of the road, right? Things now sort of facing in the wrong direction. So let's come here. Yeah, see that might. There you go. Now that all got. Yep, there we go. All right, so once we build those power lines, which shouldn't be too hard, let's commit to them. And then we'll set these guys to 2 projects, which, there it is. All right, good. So they'll finish that. And we were talking about the gulag. So the reason we would use the gulag, and let's make sure we don't have train jam-ups. Yep, of course we have train jam-ups. And see, it's always these construction guys going the wrong way. See that? So this guy should be, let's figure it out. It should be this one. I'm sorry. This one here. So it's menu button unfinished railroad. There you go. Now this guy is going the wrong way back the other way, so that's probably the Lumbrusca, I bet. Yep, there we go. Now this guy's going the right way, so we're good there. Now is he done? No, he's not quite done. So once the traffic jam is cleared, you know, what we could do is then reassign it. Now one of the things I think I can do right away, because this guy will go up the right side of the tracks, literally the correct and the right hand side of the tracks. So we could assign him pretty quickly, other than when this guy comes back in. Now he's going to come back in, right? So this should happen relatively gracefully. Yeah, see, this guy should stop and then let him go out the right hand side. Now the thing to say is once these trains pass, this guy will wait quite a while. It'll take the other guy a little while to offload the food, and then we can do this. Now, the one thing I noticed is that even if they start bumping heads with each other, where am I? We'll come back here a little bit. See, this guy's going to come out. Even if this guy were to have started and they were both on the track at the same time, they bump into each other and it deletes one of the two, and then it sort of... it eventually seems to reset itself. Now the problem here is going to be that because this guy didn't start, he's going to try to go up the wrong track. So I need to get rid of this construction project. Now here's what I'm talking about. Like this guy's now in the yard, so to speak. And I can reassign this. Let's try to get back there real quick. Quick enough. Now that guy's going to come right back out of the railroad thing, but they'll... see, they're going to bump heads, and then they delete some, so we're good to go. You know, one of the two will disappear. I would prefer it to always delete this guy, but it doesn't always work out that way. In this case, it did, which is fine. So now this guy gets automatically returned. If he's got enough stuff, yep, they'll head out, and everybody should be happy again. Now, how are we doing over here? We are heading... I have not forgotten about the gulag. Alright, so good. We got this done. We might as well just let him keep going unless there's a jam up, which is entirely possible. Yes, it's entirely possible and likely. So I think I'm just going to cancel both of them because I don't really know which guy was which, and what we'll do is we'll assign again this guy first. He should head out almost immediately. And then what I'll do, since I had to cancel them, is I'll do this one. And the reason for that is get him out of this intersection, and then when I do assign him, we don't have to worry quite as much about a jam up there. But again, it's just, you know, until I get the construction completely done on a track, and it just seems like I've never completely done. This is the only section of track that we're completely done, and we've got one-way signals, and we don't have many trains on it, but you know, it seems to be working fine. How is our corn train doing? Our corn train is doing wonderfully. He's still just sitting there. So he's saving us a lot of fuel on all those trucks going back and forth constantly. All right, the gulag. Let's pick, you know, the people in this flat. Like if you look, these flats are just completely jammed up with people. So we're going to take a few people sporadically from around the city. As long as they're not, you know, eventually I should probably figure out where they're coming from that is, you know, like not specifically set. Like, I don't know, do we really want to take people from the coal mine, for example? And that's why I'll pick 4 of them, because I don't want to take too many people from one place. But the reason for this is, right now we have 1,000 or 2,200 people that are unemployed. And we're feeding all of those people. And we got 700 plus 21s, right? So what I want to do is come back over to here and let's take people and put them in the gulag. You know, as was suggested by P. She was saying that, you know, we should put them to work in the stone quarry. Absolutely would love to be. If here would be an idea if the developer ever watches my videos, or if you guys get a chance to talk to them. You know, what I would say is, can we take people and, like, if it's ever a case where there is dissidents, like, I would like to take my dissidents, the disloyal people, and be able to take up to 10 disloyal people and put them into here. Now, what I want to do, let's take, you know, say that many out of there. Here, let's open the gulag so you guys can see. Yeah, so we can put up to 143. So now I want to open up this one. And now I don't want to take too many of my educated people, right? So there's another 3. Let's close the population stats. There we go. And then we're going to take a few of these. There we go. And then, now what I want to do is get these university educated people out of here. So let's go back to here. And where was it? Sorry. Yeah, there. Okay, so this one. So what I want to do is let's take these guys back out and put them in there. And let's go to this one. See what I'm doing there? So I'm just going to these flats and oh, the residence is full. See, now look at that. See, these residences are getting full already. So we'll lose a few educated people. I think we have plenty, right? Before I say that. Yeah, 1,200. It's almost too many, but we got a pretty good population, so it doesn't bother me if just under 10% are. More important thing is, are we getting enough in the schools? So there we go. So those flats just immediately got filled. So now what I'm hoping is to see these people are going to be completely unhappy because they don't have anything. So I expect them all to want to escape at some point. Now it would be interesting if they would tell you that they were that they were escaping, or how many escaped from this building. But look, we're already down to 143. Let's take a look at our population statistics. Yeah, this month, escapees. It's actually gone down. But we should definitely expect these people to escape relatively quickly. Oh, you know what it is I took... you know what? We didn't have many escapees yet. What we had was the fact that we took those educated people back out of here. So it would be nice if it would just always take non-educated citizens here first. Because but anyway. Well, there you go. Look, see, the number of the citizens in there is dropping. They're all completely unhappy. And that's how we're going to use the gulag. So let's go check on our train issues. Oops, what happened there? Yep, these guys are out there working. And these guys should be here working. Yep, he's coming back for more stuff. That guy is doing what? Oh, he's clogging up the rails. Yep, see, this is every time. All right, so let's just cancel both of these. Every time. Now, again, I know I could build more tracks and make it so that they can get in and out of there and then switch to the other lane. But, all right, now that that train is probably passed, let's assign this guy first. Now, I don't know why. Well, anyway. Maybe he came back while we were talking. All right, let's set this guy on that track just because it needs to be done. And I think the last thing I want to do for this segment, and not the end of the episode, but let's go see about getting another bus going. I don't think we have any spare buses. We have spare other things, but no spare buses. So let's get another bus. And I think we could buy an American one, or NATO one, German bus, German engineering, right? Do we want a big bus? 95 people. How many work in the radio station? Well, that's a lot of people for a radio station, isn't it? Well, we got extra people that are unemployed, so let's get a big bus. And let's give them, let's see, is there one of these stops? That only has 33 people in it. Well, I don't really want to mess with that stop. There's not many people here either, is there? Well, we'll go to the one with 30. This is usually where I pull the construction people out of, so let's close this. And we don't, well, yeah, we'll keep the gulag. We're down to 92. And then we'll take a look at our other stats. All right, so we're going to come over to here, and you are going to take people to here. And here's a question. Could I have just dropped them off? Yeah, you know what? Do we even really need that bus stop? Yeah, let's get rid of that bus stop. Not the bus stop, but the... Yeah, I gotta remember that I don't always have to have a bus stop, unless I want to specifically have people go to a certain place. But there we go. So we should get our radio station going here in a moment. We're down to 89 people. Now, does that make any difference on the stats? That doesn't seem to do much. So getting rid of those, well, I guess those people still count for now. But there you go. So at least we have a place that we can start offloading people so that we don't have to feed them so much. And it didn't really cost us that much effort or energy. And I don't know of any other way to, like, send people away. You know, it's not like we can just ship them off to, you know, ship them off to West Germany or something. But anyway. There you go. So let's, is this our bus coming? So now, cultural enjoyment, I guess that's, you know, if we take a look at this, so that should raise this cultural enjoyment. Preference for alcohol. Now, what does that mean? Like, so that means we'll, yeah, see, they don't really have much preference for alcohol anyway because they got all their other entertainment. So we can encourage enthusiasm for sports. How about we do some Soviet propaganda? So I guess that would increase their loyalty at that point. But again, I don't think that's really implemented. So I don't know. Now, what is this expected influence? So, okay, well, I changed it. Current listeners. We have 0 listeners. Because the building is without a power supply. That seems to be... That should be my middle name, I think, sometimes. Building is without power supply. Now, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Because I don't have... Well, we have this all the way over here, but that's not going to do me a lot of good. I mean, this is getting to be an awful small power line coming back over to here. I wonder how much power does this thing need? It doesn't really tell you, does it? Alright, well, let's... This is actually the 3rd building I've built recently, or fairly recently. Yeah, so I don't want to mess with this too much because it's already powering up this industry. So I guess the thing to do is to see about coming off of here with another line, right? Yeah, you know what? I don't think that will be... Oh, can we go across that? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Oops. There's sort of a rail station right there, isn't there? Alright, can we then cut over this way? Yes. Now, let's get the substation, figure out where we want it. So this is one substation right there. I would think we, well, actually, you know what? You know, I think I'd want it like all the way out here, huh? Though I don't want it in the way. I think we're less likely to ever put a rail right here. And that'll cover a fair chunk of things. Alright, so now let's get a road so I can even see where this thing goes. You know what? Cancel that. Let's flip that guy around. Yeah, so that way you'll see why in a second. So we could bring a dirt road across our railroad tracks. Right, so now we can get to it. And then this, I'm going to cancel some of these wires. Yeah, can we get from here now to... Let's bring it back. Yeah. Right there. Now let's come, I guess just, well, maybe to here. We'll turn it a little bit. And that should connect up no problem. All right, good. So now we got another little project for these guys. Another 2 little projects. Yeah, I'm really... There we go. All right, well, it's a little undramatic, so no wonder nobody is getting influenced by us. So where is... Yeah, no listeners because we don't have power. All right. Well, let me come back when a few more things have happened. And let's see, how are we doing up here with our... Yeah, our construction guys still seem to be moving. And they haven't blocked up the other trains quite yet. Yep, the other trains... Well, they're not sitting in there. I don't know where they are, but... Oh, this guy's done. So we might be all done. Are we done? No, we still have this rail. And I think that's it. So we're done in here with the rails, which is great. So that means we only have... Oh, there we go. Never fails. Never fail. There we go. Okay, so... Yeah, I'll be very happy when... Yeah, that guy should be sitting there for quite a while. This guy... All right, so they'll get working on that. And we're getting up there. Look, we're almost up to Lumbriska, so that's good. But in the meantime, this is just every time this food train or the corn train goes by, it's a chance that they're going to be working, and if they meet anywhere along this fairly long stretch, it's going to cause problems. See him going up the wrong way. So anyway, I'm willing to deal with that rather than building tracks that I don't need in the long run. So there we go. All right, guys, I'm going to put a little pause in the video, and we will come back when our radio station is working a little bit and some more stuff is built and done. All right, see you in a few minutes. Guys, I'm sitting here looking at our food train, and the reason is, until he just pulled up, we ran out of food. So what I thought to do was, now some of it is that it keeps getting stuck on the construction guy, so to speak. Like, it just seems like I've had some really bad timing. But in any event, I think I want to send him back to the depot and give him another train, or give him another car. But I think we'd also, I'm thinking of trying to get away with putting another train on this line. So it's not like we don't have the money, and it's not like they're reasonably inexpensive. Now, do we have any American options? Oh, look, we do have 500,000 though. Well, for now, let's stick with the rubles, and we'll just duplicate the exact train we have now, except for with 3 wagons. So let's take, and we'll leave this open just for a minute. That other guy is heading back here, I hope. So we'll head him over to here, and we're going to say, go to here, go to here. Now, the thing is, at some point we may have to, like, because I'm putting the 2 on here, so we're going to wait until you load up with food. And then we're going to unload food, of course. Now, I can't really have them wait here, and I'm hoping that they don't, you know, the fact that they're in here could cause a jam up. Like, in other words, because this isn't 2 lanes and I don't have a, you know, thing, a pullover kind of thing, you know, this could cause problems. So let's see what we can do. Now, the other thing is, well, maybe we could build that in the meantime, too. But anyway, let's get this guy started. And wait until you get food. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm not really in a hurry. We kind of want these guys to get up there at different times. I don't know what was just happening with the corn train. Now, because these guys are all identical, it'll be a little bit hard to tell which one is which, but there we go. So now, the other thing about this guy, yeah, no, it's, yeah, 100% loaded. Okay, well, there you go. You have 3 of them on there now. Start. So let's see what we would do down here. Now, what I'm wondering is, does it count this? This is obviously a stop. So I think what we could do, even without changing this too much, these trains aren't overly long, though we'll make this as long as we can. Now, we don't want to stop up this road every time there's a train here, but I think what I would do, at least, then maybe we can delete this other, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll bring this guy in here, right? And this will become, yeah, see, we would end it, I don't know, is that gonna, you know, we'll bring him right across. Yeah, I guess we should bring it down. Oh, did I go too far? No, actually that looks kind of decent. So for now, we'll just build this track, and the plan will be, here, let's commit to it. The plan will be to try to put like a chain signal here. All right, and to see if that doesn't pick up, like it needs to be free from there. And I'm going to put it back like here, so hopefully he doesn't block the road. And then eventually we'll need a regular signal. Can't place it? Okay. All right, so where can we? Down here? Okay. You know, eventually what we'll do is we'll have this be one way in and this be one way out, and then I'll think about getting rid of this little section of train there, and that'll give like a little bit of a waiting area for at least a train to sit here. Hopefully it'll be far enough away from this mess, and then, you know, then we'll have another, well, I don't even know if we'll need a signal coming out other than to make sure that this guy can go in. So yeah, we'd probably put another signal like here. Now the problem with that is what'll happen is this train will come in here and stop here, and this one can't get back out. So let's get rid of this for the moment. So that's our problem even with this signal. Like the train will just sit here if this is red. But I'm curious to see if this chain signal doesn't do what I expect. Let's see. Let's just see if it's red when a train pulls in there. But what that also tells me is, yeah, we're getting done. So I'm going to taking advantage of the game mechanics. Isn't that what we're calling it? I'm just going to cancel both of these. And then what I want to do is let's send somebody way down here. All right, this one's done. This one's not done. Oops. So we'll send those guys in there, and then we'll send somebody here. So hopefully it seems to do them in that order. So what happens is, otherwise they're getting all jammed up. I wouldn't do that quite so often, except for the fact they get all jammed up. All right, so there we go. So hopefully we can delete that little piece without causing havoc. And are we waiting for something? Or did I just miss one's already out? One's coming back. So of course, See, this one finished its job, so it didn't get canceled like the rest of them. And then, of course, they come head-to-head action. Why wouldn't they come head-to-head action, you know? And that messes this up. So, yeah, now they'll get head-to-head action. But the problem is like, if you don't wait for this guy to get back, then the order that you send him out in, like, it's going to shuffle it, I've noticed. Like, in other words, this guy's going to block this first train, and if it deletes the train going outbound, then the second train coming out, which may have already come out, is going to the second job. And you really want these guys heading out there in the right timing so that they don't interfere with each other and block the track. So, like, this guy has to get in there first. And then this guy here can go out. Even though in this case, I don't think he would block him. And then we can come up to here. All right, very good. Now, another thing I started doing, thinking about it, there's not much. I mean, we can get working on the plastics, but we don't have the chemicals yet. And I'm not really going to fire up the plastics until I have the chemicals. So the chemicals is the priority. But there's no reason we can't start building mechanical components. We have the steel. That's all we really need. We need to get some people over here. So I am diligently working on getting this built. So this will be the priority for the construction crew over here. They're building a little warehouse for the outgoing components. And yeah, so we're good. Now these guys have been slowly plugging away at asphalting some things. So I've just been coming over here whenever I remember. Doing that, selecting them, and assign them another little tiny thing. And the little dirt road's working out fine. The buses go around this way once they start this construction, so it doesn't stop all the works down here. Good. Okay, so now, what else? Let's check on this construction up here. Good, we got this done. We got this road. Yeah, so we're building. I forgot to build a gravel road down to this oil unloading, but now we have this built. So I've been assigning these guys a bunch of paths because, yeah, so they're actually working on this road. But while they're doing that road, I don't see any reason why I can't also assign them this, just so they've got plenty of work backed up. And then these guys have been building the road, so I can go ahead and give them this road to do and that road to do. And get that in the works. And we still haven't built our oil thing here. I don't think we've built our power up to here either, have we? No, so there's our power. That needs to be built as well. Do we have a road connect? Oh, that's just a power line. Where's the substation? Oh, here it is. Do we have a road to the substation? No, not really, do we? No, we definitely need to get a road into here if we're going to build. Oh, you know what? I probably wanted to wait until this was built so it didn't create multiple projects. But there you go. So now we can get into here. How about this? Oh, hello, other computer. What is wrong? Poor other computer dying on us. Lying on me. Alright, so we need to get a road up to there so we can build some of that stuff. Well, that looks like a reasonable start. Let's take a look at our elevation. Can we avoid another... Let's just go like this. Or you know what, I'm not going to do any of that. Let's just see, can I come up from like here? Let's just do a real short stub and then... Yeah, they've definitely loosened up the road restrictions, so the whiners won. The squeaky wheel gets grease, right? If the game's too hard for the children, you need to let them play it in an easy mode. I just wish they would keep it hard for us adults. they want to play it for real, you know, but want a challenge in life. I don't need everything handed to me. All right, anyway, but there's no way that road would have been built 2 weeks ago. And I am on the test version, so if you're looking forward to the game becoming easier and less of a challenge and, you know, more like City Skylines, there you go. That's the direction we are apparently heading in. So like I said earlier in the video, I do like to stay positive, so I will try, but if I end this series, it may be because they just dumbed down the game too much, you know. But I guess they feel like it's better to make it easy. They'll lose less sales, you know, for people that want to challenge. Either that or the people that scream and cry the most, like I said, get the attention. Now, what are we doing here? Is this guy ready to leave? No. Can he leave? No, because this guy's sitting on here. So really, what I need to do is I need a chain signal on this way in, don't I? How do we need to do this? Can we do double chain signals? Yeah, see, this guy can't get back out and go out now. So this isn't going to work at all. So let's take this guy and turn him around. Now let's tell him to go back to the depot. Oh, you know what? He can't because now he's stuck in here. All right, so let's see. Can we... You know what? I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, so this is the guy that's in there. I'm not worried about him. This is the guy I'm worried about. I am worried about both of them. Let's think about this. We need the crisscross. So this is the way I've been doing a lot of them. So I can't have them do this. And this signal's red because he's in here, right? So he wasn't smart enough to go over here. He ended up coming in this way. So what I think I need to do is, let's try this. First of all, I need to get this guy out of here somehow. And I don't know if I can, other than to tell him, not change. Yeah, so let's just, to free this up at least. Yeah, that's two-way. All right, so this way they can get out any which way they can. Now, having changed that to two-way, can I get this guy to turn around now? No. Okay, so we're going to have to send you all the way back over to the train depot, aren't we? At least fake you out there. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I was on pause. See, now you can't get back to the train depot because you can't get... There's a one-way track, and you can't switch anywhere. So you said this is the negative thing about setting it up, where they can't go any which way. See, like there's no other place for him to switch tracks. So I need to make it where he can get up this track in particular. There. Can you get there now? View area where you can't get. I'm not sure. View the area where the issue in the route. Okay. Well, are you freed up yet? Like, because I just made all that. Okay, so there you go. So now I really don't want you to go that far away. I just want you to get out of my way enough that I can then straighten out these signals a little bit. Yeah, go up past that signal. All right, now stop. Thank you, safe. All right. So the fact that this is red because there's a train in here is sort of encouraging. But what that's telling me is we need a one-way chain signal here, right? So that, in other words, when he comes up, now the problem with that is, now can we do See, that one's going to be green, which is right. Yeah, the problem is that he's going to stop and he's going to block this road while he's sitting there waiting. So really what that's telling me is that this cross should be further down here. But then if he's, well, see, because they wouldn't sit in the cross. So I would think that putting the cross here would be better. So let's go ahead and build the cross here. Even though this may be a bit of a food nightmare. Right, so then what we would do is we would have a signal here. Let's commit to that. We would have a train signal here. And here. No, you know what? We don't really need... Let's think about this. This one... Yeah, this signal here is only there to prevent... Now, we would need this signal too. So we would have to see. Hopefully it would... I don't know if it's going to be smart enough to figure out if there's one train in here, will it stop it from going into both? Alright, for now we'll leave it like that, but... Alright, so you... Cancel going there, and turn around. And then I want to delete... Oops, before you go too far... Let's delete this. Okay, so you should be going back to go get food. Now you should be able to get out because he's no longer going to sit there, right? This is sort of unnecessary too, I think. Let's just get rid of it. So how close are you to leaving? Not close at all. So then it leads to the problem that this guy's going to sit there blocking this road the entire time. While he waits. Well, wait a minute. Wait, you just blew right through a... Oh, no, wait. Okay. Oh, good. Well, that's encouraging other than for when a corn train comes. Or is that the corn train? Well, that's a food train, and this is a food train. So the problem now is that the food trains kind of have this completely blocked up. And then the other problem is they have this road blocked up. But all right, let's go. What are you guys doing? You're just plugging away on the roads. Do we have another? I want to let you just keep going. Again, I'm willing to babysit this for a little while, and I'm not real happy with the whole situation. But the bottom line is now we should have 10 tons of food. Okay, so this guy's getting all the food, even though he's less full. Okay, well, whatever. Let's hope. How's our corn train doing? Our corn train came and went, right? Yeah, so he's going to sit there for a mighty long time. And our gravel train, what's our gravel train? Is he sitting where he should be? Yep, and he's going to wait quite a bit too. All right, so wasn't the most productive episode. Oh, let's see. Did we get power? Oh, did I ever assign this to be built? Yes. Okay, so there we go. We got we have our radio station working, and we have the power, and how the government loyalty will be affected. So let's take a look to see if it seems to... Yeah, I don't really... not seeing a massive difference there, huh? So why does that say a minus? How the government loyalty will be affected is minus. Why would it be minus? Give them a good dose of... There you go. Oh, okay. So if you give them some of one and not enough of another, it sort of influences it. Okay. Well, I'm not sure how much all of that's worth dealing with, but so in other words, I don't see any effect of the minus alcohol. There we go. So Keep less of them. Oh, look, it gives them plus sympathy towards religion. Okay. I don't understand that exactly, how taking off preference for alcohol gives them plus on the religious sympathy, but fine. I'm okay with that. Looks like everything's in the pluses. Can't be hurting us too much. Oh, there went our religious sympathy. I don't know. Well, the fact is everybody seems, other than the loyalty, which will now be going up a bit, rating, so we got 500 listeners. Okay. All right, well, that's something. It's, we'll keep an eye on it as time goes on, like everything else. Yeah, our corn train's using corn actually pretty quickly, isn't it? All right, so we probably can assign, we're just about done. Now, this one little stretch here will cause problems, but I think they'll get that done pretty quickly. So we'll just get that paved, even though that's why a lot of these little jut outs aren't paved. All right, so let's check. Let's check. Open storage. Okay, so you're working on the storage there. Very good. Now, what are you working on the road crew? They're still working. Okay. Good. There you go, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up, call it an episode. It's kind of been long enough. And, we have issues. And again, really, I'm not ignoring anyone's comments. I just want to see if we can make this sort of situation work with what we have. And hopefully, I know it's a bit of a mess, and it needs to be fixed, and we'll get there. I promise. And the same thing with all these stupid one-way signals. So, again, we're doing the construction we can. This guy's probably let's do one last thing. How are we doing down here? Oh, good. We got this built, and look at that. We got one last little stretch here. Do we have and then we have to build into here. So in order to build in, I think I can. This isn't part of the. No. Okay, good. So I can put some signals up without. It doesn't matter if I mess up their thing, but that's what I think about it. Yeah, so we want to. Can't place a semaphore there. Okay. How about there? No. Okay. Yeah, so it messed up his project anyway. But we'll put another one like down here. And then I can only send two. So I'm running out of train construction to do. All this train construction's done. So we may have to plan on some more train construction sometime soon. All right, so where is my other? Is he already out on the road to there? Where is he? Or she? I don't see him anywhere. Oh, you're driving back and forth like a nincompoop. Oh, because I have a one-way track right there. All right, so let's go ahead and make that two-way regular signal. Yeah, okay. So now you should head out. You'll get off the main track, no problem. Oops, let's get this guy. I did that thing where I say goodbye halfway and then... Yeah, let's send this guy up to here first, hopefully. And that guy up to there. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.